Today I'm merely interested in just getting out of the house and out into nature to free myself of the troubles of the world. The skill of finding a composition anywhere, it doesn't have to be the woodland, is one that we have to hone, most of us. I mean, even those that are good at it to start with have got to practice it to get better. Yeah, nobody can do anything without trying and practicing and learning from the experience. And you might look at this area here and you might say, what have you seen? And I think you'd be right to say that. It's a curious scene, and it's changed in the 5 minutes that I've been standing here setting up to talk to you, because initially what was happening is that the sun was being caught on this initial tree here, and mostly it was being picked up by the really straggly stem that's coming out of it. And what I can see here is a path. It's not much of a path, it's a bit of a trodden path that kind of runs in over this log here and then past that first tree to the second tree. Now, actually, the light's about right. It might just work. I don't think it will. I do not think it will, because there's just too much light further into the woodland. So there's a degree of pre-visualization gone on here, quite a lot in fairness, because what I thought that I might be able to do is, if I heavily underexpose the image, and we're down 2 stops here, I can really darken off the left hand side of it and put some visual emphasis on this path going through. As I say, I don't think it's worked, but there's quite a lot of post-processing to kind of go into this. But that's what I can see in this particular location. It's just this kind of notional path. I don't think it's right, but I'll show you anyway, and whether it's worked or not doesn't matter. What matters is I'm out.
As I predicted at the time, this has taken a lot of post-production work, and probably more than I imagined. In fairness, had I not been producing the video, I would have given up on the shot. But what I've come up with here, I think, is borderline acceptable. But to give you an idea of what I started with, here's the raw file. And you can see it's just, obviously it's lackluster in colour, because that's what raw tends to be. But it's a far cry from what you see in the finished product.
Today I'm merely interested in just getting out of the house and out into nature to, I don't know, free myself of the troubles of the world. There's plenty of them, I mean, let's face it. The woodland, a wonderful place to come and do that. Just come out and free your mind a little bit, concentrate purely on the environment. One of the best ways of doing that is obviously photography, because you're constantly looking for things, and in a woodland there's everything to look at. There's lots to look at. It's incredibly messy, but if you know where to look, you can find some amazing things. And as I may have already shown in the first image, I really don't know, it might be rubbish, that a bit of kind of pre-visualization can help you see things that are kind of there but just need a little bit of help. And of course in autumn the mushrooms are out, so there's often a lot more to look at. It can be more challenging as the canopy is more open, but just down here amongst the moss there's one little mushroom, one little white mushroom amongst the moss. The colour contrast is lovely. I haven't bothered focus stacking it, so I've just gone in at f8, f9, something like that, and you can see that legs akimbo on the tripod. Now that's not actually what I was looking for initially on this stump down here. What I was looking for on the stump was, I spotted some mold spores, or actually probably spores, not mold, green stuff, what's it called, moss spores. And I was gonna get the the macro out to look at those, and then spotted the mushrooms. So I might work on the moss spores in a moment. If you're interested in these contraptions that you've seen me use on my cameras over the last few videos for macro photography, then there's a video all about it up in the corner. This is an area of the woods that I've visited at this time of year for 2 or 3 years on the trot now, and there's change for sure. This fallen trunk here has massively degraded and has become very unphotogenic, I suppose, in places. All the damage over here that's just messy now. But I think there's a few opportunities, maybe not directly with the log, but there's some little mushrooms growing up on the roots of this. There's a couple on the back edge coming out of the ground there. There's another stump over there that's historically been quite good for mushrooms. Oh, and I spy over there one that's really bright against the darker foliage of the woods. That might work. And I found a yellow stag's horn just down here. I've seen some other kind of stag's horns, well I think they're stag's horns elsewhere, kind of black and white ones, but first yellow one down there. I decided to go initially with this mushroom here. One of the things I really want to do with mushrooms generally is try to isolate them. When we're working in such close proximity, we've got such a narrow field of view, depth of field I should say, not field of view. Well, 60mm I suppose I've got narrow field of view as well, but it's more about taking a photograph of the mushroom. I know in a lot of videos I talk about taking photographs about things where you kind of including some of the environment with it and the like, getting close, but yeah, not macro. Here it's kind of macro. Yeah, we got a bit of the environment, but the photo is of the mushroom, and the light is streaming in and catching the cap of it, and I just need to get a little bit more light, I think. I've been lighting this with a little LED panel from K&F there. Details of that are in the description if you'd like one. These are very good. This is another LED panel supplied by K&F. It's actually a Mayman, I think it's a 10 watt, something like that. Large light, as you can see, but it's really solid, and it can be used as a battery charger as well. It's a power bank as well. That's very good. Now, when I got here, this mushroom had a lot of sunlight hitting it, but it's changed position now, and what it was doing before, it was really making the top very bright, but now it's not so much. So I'm bringing this larger one in to try and just brighten that up, and we're now shooting very much against a darkened background, and there's a focus stack there of 5 or 6, 7 shots, something like that, and I'm running at probably f9 perhaps. It's a really nice image of a solitary mushroom, and it's exactly the kind of shot that I like to get, but I fear that my time on the wooden floor right now might be coming to an end because the cramp in my lower legs is becoming incredibly painful. So maybe we'll look for different autumnal woodland scenes from now on, or perhaps just mushrooms that are at eye level. If you're enjoying the video, please, thumbs up. And if you're really enjoying it, there's a link down below to buy me a coffee. Cheers. Very experimental shot, this. It's dealing with this very harsh light that's coming through here. I'm shooting at quite a wide aperture, f4, 125th of a second. Not that the speed is terribly important here, but the aperture is. Is that in the shot? No, it's not. Well, yeah, there's a little bit in the shot. Damn, hadn't seen that. Oops, trying to lift it out. There we go. Let's try that again. The scene is this. It's entirely dealing with the contrasts here. There's a beautiful green kind of coming in off these leaves there, and the rest of it kind of recedes into the background, quite dark, not black, but quite dark. It's underexposed by 1.7 stops according to the camera, which is absolutely fine because it's really getting the highlight that's coming in off this branch that comes down here and the one that runs across there. As I say, this is very much experimental, and oh, you can see also I've swapped tripod for no reason other than I was shooting with. Well, doesn't matter. But anyway, yeah. So I'm on the little Freewell carbon fibre tripod here. It's a beautiful little thing. If you haven't seen the review of it, it's up in one of these corners. If the shot's come out, even if it hasn't, it's on screen just about now.
Well, I did say this was experimental. Again, a lot of additional post-processing work to get the image kind of like this. And to give you an idea of what it started out like, this is the raw file. As you can see, yeah, it's just nothing like what I made it into. This is the power, I suppose, of post-processing. We can do so much with software. So this was done using Photolab 8 and the Nick collection. You can have 30-day free trials of any of these. You don't need a credit card. There's links down below.
I would have almost certainly have suffered the pain in my knees and ankles and legs if I'd have found some worthy fly agarics down here. This path, it normally got quite a lot of them. Well, historically I say normally, yeah. I've seen quite a lot of them down here, and I've walked all the way down. I've been through this thicket, which is quite heavily populated with silver birch and yew, and fly agaric do like silver birch, but nothing down there. And then I came across a whole heap of them here, but they've been damaged and eaten and fallen over and such, which is a real shame. Yeah, we won't be doing that. But one of the things that I've mentioned before, and it just struck me again, is just how much sometimes putting a frame around something can really highlight its existence as a composition. You see, I didn't see it before, but it's kind of right behind me, and I'm kind of liking it even in this. But looking kind of straight on into this this section here looks rather nice, and I think there's probably an image, maybe even two there. You see, yeah, in this kind of 3/4 here, looking into the into the bright. I think that kind of works as well, because there's no real dark in this image, so I think we might be able to get away with a really light image there, particularly as the colours are really beginning to come through. Though it's still worth pointing out that the predominant colour here is still green. Autumn really hasn't hit here in any real way just yet.
Sometimes images just don't work, and I don't think this one has. There's just nothing about this that makes me want to look at it twice. And that's the key, isn't it? A good image is an image that you want to look at again. Perhaps an image you want to stare into, to see more things, to see if there's bits you've missed. But I don't think this image has that. I don't think it's got it in any way or measure, and I've tried so many ways of adjusting it and the like, and I'm just flogging a dead horse. But if you go back to my opening statement, the reason for going out really wasn't to take great photographs. I didn't expect to get great photographs. The reason for going out was to go out, and I just happened to get one or two shots that weren't bad.
I'm pretty whacked now, and I've been walking for probably, I don't know, 3 hours perhaps around these woods. It's far from the ideal conditions, as you probably know, and as indeed I know. Yeah, if I'd had overcast conditions here, it would have been better. Could I have gone somewhere else where these conditions would have been better? Yeah, probably city streets, but I didn't want to be around people, so came to the woods, and I haven't found as much as I'd have liked to. There's loads. I've never seen so many mushrooms. The place is alive with mushrooms this year, but my knees have gone, so not shooting any more mushrooms today. But these, I'm not sure what these are. These are, they have a kind of nettly type look to them, but I'm sure they're not. But this section of the woods is carpeted with them. They're beautiful things, and they've got such gorgeous structure to them. The leaves, every single kind of stem seems to come up with 4 beautifully formed leaves in a pattern, and yeah, it's just so kind of geometric. You wouldn't believe it as nature as such, but it's gorgeous. So I've scouted around the edge of this, and I've looked for a single stem with the 4 can't do that, the 4 leaves on it, that are completely isolated in the woodland floor. So I've got it just down here. It's quite a nice little image.
If you cast your mind back to the beginning of the video, I said the purpose of going out was to get out. It wasn't to get great photos. If I did, that was a bonus. It wasn't the expectation. And I'm not down about not getting great photos. There's a few okay ones there, but by and large, I've had to force them. That's absolutely fine. If you have this kind of attitude with your photography, you won't come back and be disappointed. Disappointment at our images is a common thing. Don't worry about it. You'll get better. And if you sleep on it a few days, you'll probably find that the images kind of grow on you. Use your camera as an excuse, as a need, as an absolute life need to get out. Enjoy your time. Take care. We'll see you next week.